Hey guys, it's your humble host, Raquel if you prefer. So I'm back with another video. I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks or vice versa. I've just been tired mentally, exhausted, as you can see. So I didn't know the appeal came in today until I saw an advertisement on YouTube for Ricky to stream. I'm not a legal expert by any means. You guys should know that by now. From what I'm hearing, from what I understand, is Vic lost due to technicalities, stuff not being filed on time, and that's on Ty Beard's end. I was not able to watch the stream due to how tired I was. But I caught like bits and pieces, and I'm kind of reading the hashtag and kind of poking around at the farms right now. It sucks, but you know, in the long run of things, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't solidify anything. There has been no evidence still of any claims or accusations against Vic. And let's not also forget that Funimation is pretty much dissolved at this point. Notice how the studios that came out against Vic are pretty much financially dead, if not absorbed. You guys know about Funimation. They got absorbed into Crunchyroll. People started to notice when DVDs were released, they used to have the Funimation logo. Those got replaced by the Crunchyroll. Now, I can't say Crunchyroll is doing too well themselves. We've seen the controversy with the High Guardian Spice. They're trying to put out their own originals when they're supposed to be supporting English dubbings and supporting actual Japanese anime studios. So I don't dig into that too much. But I know people who have a very great disdain and dislike for Crunchyroll's garbage. As for Vic Mignogna himself, I have yet to meet the guy. I would love to. Just events and circumstances, and just I haven't been able to yet. And plus, my vehicles are eating all my money. I swear, maintaining 2 vehicles is kind of difficult sometimes. But from what I've heard, because I do have people I talk to who have seen Vic on and off, are involved in some of his projects, he has been doing well. I haven't heard anything as of late, and I know the news is going to be a blow to them when they see this. I do know, and I have heard, that Vic Mignogna is creating his own dubbing studio. And here's the thing, because yes, this is not an outcome anybody with half a brain wanted. Vic doesn't have anything to go back to, even if he did win the damages, because they're still going to be running their mouth. The studios that Vic got ousted from are still going to be on fire. So there's really nothing for him to go back to. And even with the new DBZ movie, because yes, I did see it, and I'm going to go see it again Saturday with my husband and a housemate. I know there was a partial stink in regards to Vic not voicing Broly. I will tell you this, as someone who's been following the Vic Mignogna stuff and had a very small part and exposing some of the stuff, very small part. Broly's not really important or integral to the movie, and that's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. No spoilers. Broly is... You don't see Broly really that much in the new DBZ movie. Anyway, and for those of you who are not aware that there's one out, it's Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It does not follow the non-canon superhero storyline, it's actually canon to the Dragon Ball Super storyline. So yes, this is, to my knowledge, not a big DBZ lore nut, but the second movie that's actually canon to the series. Anyway, with that being said, I was kind of doing some thinking, and I'm not going to preach at you guys, far be it from me, but sometimes God has a way of shaking people out of places that they were supposed to leave a while back. And that's not to say that Vic should have left Funimation any sooner, but maybe there were red flags that he missed or things that weren't paid attention to. I mean, we've all done it. We've done it with jobs, we've done it with people, we've done it with places to where we've ignored, hey, it's time to move on, and kind of gotten ourselves into a situation that kind of left us badly burned or possibly worse off for a time. So, but with that being said, think about how much this case has exposed. I'm talking about people, I'm talking about behavior, I'm talking about the lies, I'm talking about the freaking bullshit. Think about ever since 2018, maybe a little bit earlier, think about just how much stuff has been exposed on both sides, the people involved. Are the people that you were following at the beginning, are they still the same? And I'm not saying that people can't change and they'll probably move their content or they'll adapt their behavior a certain way, but are they still the same person? Are they still them? The stuff like with the voice actors, Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, Ron Toy. Okay, I'm going to touch upon this briefly. I'm going to be very, very careful as a married person, as a wife. But for example, the stuff that got exposed, Monica Rial and Ron Toy, they're no longer together. And it's not my place to judge their relationship. I have no idea what happened, but just from their behavior on Twitter, especially at one point bragging about their sex life, it was freaking toxic as hell. Just freaking, no. Ron was very much a tool. Monica was Monica. But that's just an example. Like I said, you have Rooster Teeth. They're pretty much dead in the water. They financially started to drown. Funimation got absorbed. Crunchyroll's in trouble. You have the high grain spice. So you have all these things. And again, it may not be the one outcome. I can't tell you how many freaking times with me, and this is with jobs or with people, to where I have been fired from jobs only to see maybe a year or possibly a few months later, the job or the manager or the place of employment just go underwater. Like, I can't, or places that I quit that was just like, you know what, take your shit back, I'm done with it. Like another place I used to work at, and I don't really expose my past employers, but this place is gone, is I used to work for freaking Sears at one point, and I left before Black Friday, where I just turned in my stuff and quit because the scheduling manager wanted to be a bitch. And like maybe the next year, later that spring, they closed. I'm not saying that's karma, just the way that they ran the store, and they had senior employees that had been there for 15 years trying to tell them, don't buy these products, don't do that, don't do this. And you have managers who come in and out the door who didn't listen. I had a customer, and this is not me bragging, this is just an example. I just want you guys to hear this, because in the grand scheme of things, there's something far better for Vic Mignogna than there ever will be in his past. All of that was a build-up, all of that was a foreshadow. But the story real quick is I had a customer who knew the process of what I was doing. I knew the process. We had a manager come over, try to correct both of us. And it's just like, well, no. And she got bitched up by the customer and ended up crying in the office. I felt bad, but you got those managers that are just, I swear to God, they're space cadets. Anyway, But again, I say this because the places that we come from can sometimes just fall on its face. Same thing with Vic Mignogna. This is not the end. He's not going to get permanently blacklisted. At this point, so fucking what if dying conventions do not want him back? So what? There's so much more to Vic than voice acting. I will tell you that much. And you could see it through his fans. Like I said, the person I talked to that does keep up with Vic when they're able to and help with the Star Trek project at one point, because they were actually there when Rakita Law was there at one point, because I got sent a picture of, I believe it was a Vic and Rakita, and this person was not familiar with what Nick Rakita looked like. I'm like, oh my god, this is Rakita Law, and they're like, who? So yeah, they still keep in contact with Vic. It's not one of the Resin Bull Rangers. I'm not a part of that server anymore. I left that server about 2 years ago. But Vic does have a heart, and you know what? That's going to come through. He went and helped out on the stuff in Ukraine. I'm not talking about that stuff. No, I'm just pointing out he went out to help with the effort of healing that's going over there right now. Whether right or wrong, this is not part of that video, and I don't even know what the hell's going on with that to make heads or tails. But yeah, no, there is so much more to Vic, and if people think that Vic is gonna get snuffed out, you guys are fucking loony. This is so much beyond voice acting. There's so much to that man, and maybe it was God's way, and I'm not, hear me out, please. Maybe it was God's way of shaking him out of like dying, rotting trees, like, hey, get out, out. But think about it. What would have happened if he would have stayed on with Fun Animation when it got absorbed? Maybe something worse. We don't know. I will say again, I'm not going to preach at you guys, far be it from me. But there are times where God will use situations. Hey, it's time to go. Give an example. The last employer I had in Illinois, I got fired. And me and my husband had been talking for years to move. And it's like, you know what? F it. Let's do it. There's nothing else here for us anymore, man. And we got the support. We got the financial backing. And we had the provision to help us move. So the fact that Vic is starting his own dubbing studio, and I'm not going to sit here and say, well, that's not what he's supposed to do. No. I don't know what that man's supposed to do, but I do know there is far more to him than voice acting. He has proven himself to practice what he preaches by far. He's not perfect. He has his own struggles and things like that. But at the same time, the court, losing the appeal, the only way I can really see that is, yeah, you have Kick Vic running around. He's going to end in an unemployment line. People are fucking stupid. But it could be a way of sealing the deal. Do not try to come back here. You're not supposed to be coming back here. And that's not saying in a negative way, but there are times where God does things where he seals the door behind us going, do not try to come back. This door is permanently closed. Do not come back here. This is no longer meant for you. So, and I really hope Vic is able to grow and change. And I know some of the Resin Bull Rangers that I haven't spoken with in a while, but I'm still friends with some of them, that you do have particular Rangers who are very much close to Vic. And a lot of people did expect Vic to lose appeal. It took so long. And I will say this one thing is to have it release on the day that the DBZ, the new one, launches in theaters, especially when there's like small cameos of Broly here and there, of the new official canon Broly. It's a little bit sus, but you know what? Don't think too much into it. But again, just slight spoiler. Broly's not a big part of the movie. He's really not. So, and he really, I will say one thing too, if this kind of adds just a little bit of comfort to you guys, if you guys are having second thoughts about going to see the movie. Broly doesn't talk that much. He has maybe 3 lines. That's it. Really doesn't say much at all, and I think they did that on purpose. Because I know you guys remember with the Kamehei-con and the crap that happened, and Japan, or excuse me, Toei pretty much told all their Japanese DBZ voice actors, you're not going to this. So I don't think Toei has anything against Vic. I really don't. But we'll see what's in store for Vic. As it's being said, just continue support him. Don't fight with these idiots on Twitter. I'm actually glad my Twitter's freaking nuked right now. I'm never getting that thing back, by the way. It's not gonna happen. Especially now with Elon Musk not wanting to go through with the O40 chest, I swear to God. But anyway, so yeah, this is not the end for Vic. This really isn't. So all the people screaming he's going to be in the unemployment line, they're fucking stupid. There's so much more to that man, and that's why I sent the emails that I did, and I got real passionate because of my background and things like that, and what I'm still involved with stuff like Save Games. I just be glad it exposed what it did. Be glad Vic is still here, still standing, and he's doing his thing. He's going to continue to do his thing. Fuck him. Just fuck these idiots. Not trying to swear, but I'm dead serious. At the end of the day, yes, he lost, I guess you could say, a type of support, but the studios he came from are freaking on fire. They're dead. They're going to disappear. I think, there was talk of Sony buying Crunchyroll, and I can't remember if I read this correctly, of Crunchyroll being absorbed into something else. I could be completely wrong, but you have studios eating each other, killing each other, buying each other out, then just making them go bye-bye. It's been happening ever since this stuff started, and so, like I said, just be happy for Vic. Don't try to fight any internet battle. These people, at the end of the day, they have to go back to their lives just like you do. Vicky's still around people who love and support him. He still has a lot of fans. He goes out and does what he needs to. So, that's all I'm going to say. Just like I said, fuck the rest. Trust me, it's a hard lesson to learn. It really freaking is, because you want to take people and beat their head against the wall, or I'm just going to be blunt. I've had my own experiences like that, where I just want to take people's heads and stick it in the wall. Because you do get tired of dealing with certain people. People don't want to listen. People who just want to run around and act like they're the victim. And so it's frustrating. But like I said, be happy for Vic. Trust me, there are better things in the pipeline for Vic, and the fact that he is still doing his craft, whether that's audiobooks, whether that's still voicing. And I hope to God he does get his studio up and running. That would be cool, because at that point you can have authentic voice actors who are passionate about the roles that they play in. They're excited about the culture of the show. Hopefully a lot less political nonsense stuff injected on the show that was not there to begin with. So, but yeah. So just, it sucks, but trust me, you'll see that how this is a good thing in the end. Okay? So, have a good one, you guys.